From Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park here in Lubbock, Texas Tech and Baylor ready to continue their Big 12 series here this afternoon. Hello again, everyone. John Harris alongside former Red Raider Dr. Mike Gustafson. Gus, on Friday night in the opener, both these teams had outstanding starting pitching. Turns out the difference, the Red Raider bullpen. Couple of guys come in, do not allow the Bears a run, and the Red Raider bats get very hot late in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Ethan Calder and Mac Ewer were outstanding in 6-inning starts. 2-1 ball game into the 7th. The Red Raiders break it open around some shabby or maybe shoddy defense there in the 7th by Baylor, and then took care of it with more insurance runs in the 8th. A bunch of guys got going, and the interesting part of that will be if Jack Siebert left that ball game after 2 1/3, got the win in relief, but perhaps he'll be available to pitch the second time this weekend, which hasn't happened all year. So that'll be interesting to see tomorrow.
Well, that comes up on Sunday, but let's go back to Friday night and show you how the Red Raiders won that game over the Bears, who would get a 2-0 lead in the top of the 2nd. Travis Sanders, the former Red Raider, doubling into the left field corner. That scored Hunter Simmons with the game's first run. It was 2-1 Bears in the 7th when Tech got 4. Dylan Maxey's chopper in the infield is going to be a single, but thrown away at first base. Couple of runs scored for Tech. Red Raiders would lead 5-2 into that 8th inning, and they'd get 4 more. Robin Villeneuve had 3 hits, 2 singles and a double. That base hit scored Tracer Lopez. Red Raiders 13 hits in the game, 5 came in that at bat. Mac Ewer started for Tim Tadlock's team. It was Siebert and Trendon Parrish who would finish the ball game as Texas Tech wins 9-2 over Baylor to start this series, and that's where we are after 1 game. It's Baylor and Texas Tech Game 2 coming up from Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park right here in Lubbock. Texas Tech and Baylor about to get going with Game 2 of this 3-game series. Gus, we mentioned this earlier. Great starting pitching for both these teams on Friday night. Can Zane Petty keep that up for Tim Tadlock's guys?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Just maintaining some consistency, and Petty has probably been the Red Raiders' best starter over the last 2 weekends. Over those last 2 weekends, 11 1/3 innings, I think a total of 4 runs. So he's been very good. And he is making his 7th start here today. You see the numbers, and both times he carried leads into the very late stages of the ball game, only to have those good results dropped. The Baylor lineup is there. We highlight today Travis Sanders, the former Texas Tech player in Big 12 play, leads the Baylor Bears in runs scored, and that tracks with what we saw last night. 2 hits, an RBI. A base on balls, so he was right in the middle of the action for the Bears.
One of 2 Bears who had 2 hits in that ball game. Ty Johnson, who bats behind him in their batting order. The other, Apodaca to lead off for the Bears. Red Raiders made Friday night tough on him. 0 for 4 in that ball game and struck out a couple of times. Petty, the junior out of Corsicana. That pitch in at 93 for a cold strike. Jordan and Kemp to follow Apodaca here in the top of the 1st. Both these teams had come into the series 5-7 in Big 12 play, but the win by Texas Tech on Friday night improves their Big 12 record to 6-7 and drops the Bears to 5-8. Two and 2 pitch inside, ball 3, full count now. Red Raiders walked only a couple of Bear batters on Friday night. And struck out 8. 3-2 breaking ball from Zane Petty is fouled off. Do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. That ball is lined right back up the middle. 94 on the fastball, and Apodaca got it and drove it into center field.
A very hittable pitch, fastball up in the zone. Full count pitch. Petty trying to get in the zone. He did. And Apodaca drilled it back through the middle for the base hit.
His first hit in the series. Wesley Jordan follows him in that Baylor batting order. He also went without a hit on Friday night. Like Apodaca, went 0 for 4, had a couple of strikeouts. Red Raiders did an outstanding job against the top of that Baylor batting order. And that ball ripped into left field. Logan Hughes long run to try and get it, and he's not going to be able to. That line drive is out of the ballpark for a 2-run homer on that pitch from Zane Petty. That ball got out of here in a hurry, Gus. Jordan, 6th of the year. He leads the Bears now in that category.
Yeah, you can see Jordan really pull his hands in to get the barrel to the baseball there. Hooks that thing just over the wall out in left field. He smoked that one. The only question was if it had enough elevation to get over the wall. He hit it on the button.
Neither of these teams with the long ball on Friday night. It doesn't take long this afternoon on a hot and windy day in Lubbock for the Bears to jump out in front 2-0. Tyreek Kemp rips that one down the right field line. Long run for Damian Bravo to pick it up, and the first 3 batters in this Baylor lineup have all reached base. Apodaca a 3-2 single into center field. Jordan a 2-run homer, and now Kemp rips a double down the right field line.
Yeah, that ball smoked as well. Good contact, 3 hitters in a row for Baylor.
Yeah, Kemp had the only hit among those first 3 batters on Friday night, and now Hunter Simmons in the DH role for the Bears. First 8 batters in this lineup are the same that the Red Raiders saw on Friday night. The only difference is Cortland Castle at catcher batting 9th in the lineup for J.J. Kennett in that spot today. But Zane Petty roughed up a bit early. This ball lifted into center field. Long run for the Red Raiders center fielder Kendall Johnson. And he makes a diving attempt to get to that ball, but unable to make the catch. And it's 4 straight hits by Baylor to start this ball game.
Yeah, Johnson with the long run and a heck of an effort. A little bit of a jam shot. That ball popped out into right center field. You see the diving effort there, but Johnson unable to finish off that catch. Kemp had to see that ball hit the ground, so he was waiting over there by the bag until he saw it get loose. He gets over to third base, so runners on the corners here with nobody out. Dylan Maxey out to talk to his right-hander to get him to take a deep breath. He'd love a double play right here.
Bears had 4 hits in the 2nd inning on Friday night and scored 2 runs, and then did not score again. But here's Pearson Reebok with runners on the corners. 1 for 3 on Friday. That one hit a single. Big swing and a miss there on that off-speed pitch from Zane Petty. Angel Campos behind home plate tonight. Gus, a big league veteran, calling balls and strikes.
Yeah, there are several guys that call in the Big 12 who have called some games in the major league. Angel Campos called 800 games in the big leagues. He was up there for a while. Left Major League Baseball about 10 years ago. Back in the game here in college, calling in the College World Series, and has quickly climbed to the very top of the college game. It's good to see.
1-2 pitch is lined right at Coleman Ryan, Red Raiders shortstop. He short hopped that ball. Red Raiders may turn a triple play here, and they don't. To play at the plate, not in time to get Tyreek Kemp. Red Raiders are going to argue that. They want that looked at.
Yeah, and I think Reebok was safe over there at first because he did the right thing. He was busting it out of the box when he hit that ball. Ryan ultimately played it on a short hop. Yeah, I think
Kemp may be safe here.
Yeah, I think that's a very good call.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Dylan Maxey was able to get the tag on him. Tim Tadlock is out of the Red Raider dugout on the third base side.
I think this is just going to go down as a RBI force out at second base. I guess essentially a 6-4. But yeah, like you said, that was about 2 ticks away from being a triple play if they get the out at first and the tag. Kemp obviously had to hold his ground because that was a little jam shot pop out there to shortstop, and so he had to see if Ryan was going to catch it in the air. Once he saw him short hop it and then go to second, he takes off. Made that play close out there. That's a pretty unusual play. It's a heck of an effort by Ryan.
Yeah. This is just a great job on the slide by Kemp at the plate too to avoid the tag by Maxey. But when he saw that ball was not caught and the flip to second base, Kemp able to take off from third and beat the throw that went first and back home. As it stands, the Bears lead 3-0. We'll have one out, and the play that being looked at obviously is the play at home, but it appears on the replay that Kemp does avoid the tag.
Yeah, very good slide there. Yeah, for Maxey to really have much of a shot at that, he's going to have to catch that ball back here by the baseline and drop the tag as opposed to going out and getting it. But sometimes that has to be a perfect throw.
And then make a big sweeping tag.
You bet. The more your glove has to travel, the more time it takes.
You see the umpire calling the play at second that it was not a catch.
And that throw head high.
Charles Bussey is the umpire at second. Angel Campos again behind the plate. Jake Uhlenhoop is at first, and then Steve Mattingly is the umpire over at third.
Yeah, that throw head high to the plate, so Maxey has to catch it up here and then go get Kemp, who's sliding to the back part of the bag. Really excellent work, as you said, Kemp. Very good slide.
But the decision has been reached. Yeah, that is what we expected. And the out at second and safe at first. Tim Tadlock is out to discuss something with the umpiring crew. Maybe just asking for an explanation, Gus, of the play at home, perhaps?
Yeah, not sure. The one thing, I mean, the only other thing that might be reviewable that maybe perhaps they didn't look at was maybe if Tim had asked for some sort of an interference out there at second base in the slide. But I'm not implying that that's what that there was anything wrong with that out there. But I don't know. That may be the only other thing that really hadn't been addressed.
I definitely think Kemp is safe at home.
Yeah, me too.
Satisfied or not, Tim Tadlock is headed back to the Red Raider dugout, and we are ready to resume play.
Yeah, RBI fielder's choice for Reebok, 6-4. There is some activity in the Red Raider bullpen. Some guys just playing catch, and that may just be guys playing catch and not actual prescribed warm-up routine.
First 5 Baylor batters have reached base in this ball game. One erased at second. First pitch to Travis Sanders, and he gives it a ride off the wall in center field. This may score another run. Around third, here comes the throw home. It's offline. Dylan Maxey catches the ball, but sliding in is Reebok with Baylor's 4th run here in the top of the first inning. Sanders, who had a couple of hits last night, including a double, starts off this ball game with another 2-bagger to straightaway center field off the wall there that Johnson has to play on the hop.
Yeah, that was a fastball, center cut, belt high. Sanders went up there pumping, drilled that thing.
Well, the Red Raiders held Baylor without a run on Friday night in game 1 in 8 of the 9 innings, but they have been jumped on here in this first inning. Throw down to third is not going to get the runner there, Sanders, because Garrett Bain dropped the ball.
Sanders with a big jump. They had Petty timed up.
Sanders stole a base on Friday night. Baylor now 2 for 3, both of them Travis Sanders stolen bases. He swiped second and then got third here today. Zane Petty has struggled in this start. Ty Johnson here, Bears center fielder. Check swing, called strike. Johnson 2 for 4 in Friday's game. Drove in one of the 2 Baylor runs, had a double and a single. Bears .292 team batting average is 7th best in the Big 12. But they have come out swinging a hot bat today, and Petty catches Johnson looking there. 93 on that pitch, and he'll sit down out number 2 here in the first.
It kind of feels like Johnson was looking for some spin there. Breaking ball, slider, change, something soft. He took a fastball right down the chute. He knew it. Looking for the local and got the express.
Now Jack Little, he gets the local, swings right through that.
We always like a good public transit reference up here in the booth.
Little's only hit last night, a double in the 5th inning. He led off that inning, but then Mac Cure, the Red Raiders starter, struck out the next 3 Bears. End of threat. And Little behind at 0-2. That ball ripped into left field. Logan Hughes going to turn and take a couple of steps towards the wall, but that pitch out of here. Jack Little has just hit his 6th home run of the year, equals Wesley Jordan, and Gussie did it on an 0-2 pitch, and it's now 6-0 Bears.
Yeah, huge location miss there. After 2 good breakers to get ahead a Little. This one right down the heart, and Little did not miss it, hitting that thing way out of here, bouncing it across the street beyond the left field fence.
Not the start the Red Raiders envisioned for sure. Now Cortland Castle, who did not play in Friday night's ball game, brings an average of .296 into this ball game. Castle in the Bears 3-game series against Houston had 4 hits. Lifts that one up on the right side. Long run for Damian Bravo. He will make the play near the foul line, and that ends the inning. But 6 runs on 6 hits for the Bears. 2 of those were home runs. 6-0 Bears. Red Raiders to bat in the bottom of the first coming up. Well, Red Raiders starter Zane Petty roughed up in that first inning, Gus. Now the Bears trot out Carson Bailey, another left-handed starter to deal with.
Yes, sir. The youngster out of Richardson has done a nice job for this ball club. Carson Bailey making his 5th start in Big 12 play, so he has been a fixture. And boy, he was outstanding last weekend in Waco against that Houston Cougar ball club. He has been handed the most precious gift, 6-run lead before he ever throws a pitch.
Pitcher's best friends in order, the 6-4-3 double play.
Yes, you got that right. Yeah. And there's a look at the Red Raider lineup, and we highlight today Robin Villeneuve. Robin leads this Red Raider ball club in batting average on the season at .342. He has been a fixture in the middle of the lineup for this team since day one.
Tracer Lopez in that leadoff spot had a couple of hits last night. Both were singles, scored a couple of runs for the Red Raiders in their 9-2 victory. Hard hit ball right past Reebok at third. Playing in just a little bit because Lopez is a threat to bunt, but that ball just ripped right past him into left field.
Yeah, that's the idea, having that bunt as a threat. Get that third baseman to shallow up. He loses maybe a step of reaction time. It served Lopez well there as he shoots it past Reebok for the base hit.
Back to our original thought, a 6-4-3 double play.
Yes.
Pitcher likes that, likes a diving catch in the outfield, and he likes a 6-run first inning, I bet.
You betcha.
That makes it a little bit different when he gets out there. Here's Damian Bravo, rips that one out into left field, but Apodaca is there for out number 1.
Well, it really does make some pitch decisions easy for Bailey. Pitching with a 6-run lead. You don't have to be too careful. You get behind in the count, throw it in there with the proverbial see how far they hit it. Got that much of a cushion. Don't want to create base runners with free passes. Try to get outs on everything that's hit.
Yeah, Bailey in that start against Houston, 6 innings, couple of hits, 3 runs, struck out 6. Left that game tied 3-all. Baylor won it with a run in the 8th inning. In fact, Baylor has won 8 of the 9 games that Carson Bailey has pitched in. So the young guy out of J.J. Pierce High School has done well for Mitch Thompson's team.
There is some wind in the ballpark blowing across from right to left. It's kind of the more traditional spring wind. It's not a howling wind, but there's enough there to help.
Chopper in the infield going to be tough. Logan Hughes, Reebok fielding the ball over near third, able to make the play to first base. Hughes is out at first. But with third base vacated as Reebok made that play on the chopper, Tracer Lopez heads up base running all the way around to third base.
You know what's interesting? You see the catcher there. He hustles over there to cover third. Lopez gets around to third base, and there was nobody at home at that point. Now,
well, that play at first was close.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to be reviewed here, John. Maybe that foot got pulled off the bag. Red Raiders are hunting some base runners, playing down 6-0 this early in the ball game.
Yeah, I'm not sure the foot came off. A little able to stretch for that ball. But the question would be whether or not Logan Hughes got there before. And the Red Raiders do their part to sell the call by leaving Hughes over at first base. Here's another look. Oh man, that is
sure is
simultaneous.
It is close.
Yes, it is.
That's why they review these things. Each coach gets a couple of them, I believe, in the first 7 innings of the ball game.
Red Raiders need a base runner as it stands now. If that call is confirmed, Logan Hughes would be out number 2, and Robin Villeneuve would be at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Carson Bailey 2-1 on the season for Baylor. The 2 victories against UT San Antonio and Loyola Marymount. That 1 loss did come in Big 12 play against Arizona. Did not last long against the Wildcats. 2/3 of an inning, allowed 5 hits and 8 runs. But a lengthy review on the play at first base. The second review here in the first inning of this game, Gus. The Red Raiders asking for a review from the defensive side of things in the Baylor top half of the inning.
Yeah, trying to stop the bleeding in the top half of the inning, and here maybe trying to create a little more.
Well, a lot of conversations around the field during that review, and here we go. They are going to uphold the call. Hughes out at first. And the Red Raiders have had their 2 review opportunities here in the first inning of the game.
He had 0 for 2 on those review opportunities, so won't be able to just ask for anything at this point.
Now up to Robin Villeneuve to try and keep an inning alive and get Tracer Lopez home for from third. Three hits on Friday night for Villeneuve. A pair of singles and a double did drive in a run. As a 2-out hitter this season, he's got 14 base hits. Second most on this Red Raider team. They need one here. Villeneuve had just 1 hit in the Red Raiders series win over Cincinnati, but started Baylor with 3 on Friday night. Total of 17 hits so far against Big 12 competition for Robin Villeneuve. That one may not sneak past Travis Sanders. Throws a bit high, little off the bag initially, but gets his foot down in time. And the Red Raiders are retired here in the first inning. Got Tracer Lopez to third, couldn't get him home. On to the second, Bears leading 6-0. Baylor 6 runs on 6 hits in that first inning. The Red Raiders got the leadoff single from Tracer Lopez, but could not get him around. Behind Petty defensively, Hughes, Johnson, and Bravo. Left to right in the outfield, Boehm at third, Ryan at short, Lopez at second, Villeneuve at first base, Dylan Maxey behind home plate. And Baylor back to the top of their batting order after 9 batters account for 6 runs in the top of the first. Zane Petty hoping for a better inning, Gus.
Yeah, that 6-run inning will pretty much take care of the idea of having a quality start at this point. The thing he can do is carry some innings into the middle of this ball game.
Apodaca lifts that ball out into right center field. Kendall Johnson calls off Bravo. And there's one away.
And what I mean by that is he can go out and either try to hang some zeros and get the Red Raiders back in this ball game. If they can't do that, at least he can carry some innings so that some of the bullpen pieces are refreshed and ready to go for what could be a rubber game.
Wesley Jordan hit a rocket home run out to left field in his first at bat. A line drive into the Red Raider bullpen in left field. And he's done it again, perhaps. Rips that one down the left field line, and it's gone. Logan Hughes over for that ball, and Wesley Jordan's got a 2-home run ball game. Just clearing the wall in left field, but it is enough to make it 7-0 Baylor.
Boy, both of those very similar. Jordan pulls the hands in to get the barrel to that inside pitch and just smokes one. Again, the only question there, and you can see it by the way Hughes plays it. Hughes doesn't try to go back to the wall to play that. He just runs over there thinking it might hit off the wall and kick back to him. That ball was smoked.
2 at-bats and 2 home runs for the Bears left fielder. Wesley Jordan regains the home run lead on the team with 7 now. Tyree Kemp on the ground ball to Tracer Lopez. And there are 2 away. But Baylor comes into this ball game with just 28 home runs on the year. That was the second fewest in the league. They've hit 3 in the first 2 innings here this afternoon. Hunter Simmons here at the plate is capable of doing the same thing. That'll get lifted into the seats and beyond on the right side. Simmons singled in his first at bat in the first inning. Got forced at second base on a ground ball by Reebok. Lifts that one out into left center field. Long run for Logan Hughes. He'll field it on the hop. Simmons is heading for second base. Here comes the throw. Not going to be in time. The ball got away from Hughes in the outfield as he got over there to try to field that thing. Popped up. Got away from him for just a moment. And Simmons just kept running, Gus.
Yeah, it's good aggressive base running. You see Hughes playing over into left center field. Sometimes the rule is if you can see an outfielder's back, the number on his back, and he probably could there. But he's obviously running away from second base. A little bit of a juggle. If that ball didn't hit the ground, it was just a bobble. I don't even think it messed up Hughes' timing. But boy, Simmons hit first base with some purpose, kept right on trucking. And that's the kind of thing you can do without a whole lot of hesitation, especially when you're up 7-0. You can just keep the pedal to the metal. You get thrown out, everybody can say, hey, nice hustle, good try.
Bears have 8 hits in the ball game. 6 of them are for extra bases. 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and a 7-0 lead. To this point, they have roughed up Red Raider starter Zane Petty, who has not retired back-to-back hitters yet. Big swing and a miss by Reebok. Reebok hit the soft liner towards Red Raider shortstop Coleman Ryan in that first inning, who could not catch the ball, making a diving attempt. But Reebok did reach base and would score one of those 6 runs. Reebok has 16 hits in Big 12 play. Here's the 1-2, and that's just ripped into right field. Bravo will field it on a couple of hops. Simmons is around third, and he will score. And the Baylor Bears just keep pouring it on.
Breaking ball elevated here. Reebok jumps on it and drills it into right field, and no doubter base hit.
Simmons running with 2 outs. Scores ahead of a throw. 8-0 now Baylor on 9 hits off Red Raiders starter Zane Petty. Red Raiders going to talk about this one on the mound. Travis Sanders has been outstanding in the series. 3 for 4 against the Red Raiders with 2 doubles. Gus, you mentioned this earlier that Petty has been among the Red Raiders' most consistent pitchers over the last few weeks. But this one off to a bad start, and the Red Raiders have not been able to slow down Baylor at the plate.
Yeah, he was very good 2 Sundays ago in Manhattan. And then pretty good last weekend here against Cincinnati. No question he had been their best starter through those 2 weekends. Boy, it has been a struggle for Mr. Petty, and JT Drake, right-hander, begins to work in the Tech bullpen.
Zane Petty making his 22nd career start today. Now Travis Sanders doubled in a run in that first inning. Doubled in the second inning last night to drive in a run. Already a couple of Bears are 2 for 2 in the ball game. Wesley Jordan's got 2 home runs. And Hunter Simmons a single and a double. There's a called strike. The count is officially at 1-1 as Petty called for a pitch clock violation and a ball given to the count of Travis Sanders, so it's 1-1.
The count, excuse me, 1-1. Yeah, umpire Angel Campos correcting that.
All right.
I think he got the Petty got the warning. The next time it happens, I think he'll lose the ball or have the ball added to the count.
Neither of these teams has announced a starter for Sunday. Zane Petty has been a Sunday starter, but moved up in this series.
He moved up to Saturday. He's been so good the last couple weekends. Getting deeper into ball games. Kind of quiet in the ship, but boy, it hadn't gone that way for him today.
Not as planned. A draft pick of the Milwaukee Brewers back in 2022. Still a long way to go, though. Swing and a miss, struck him out. That'll end the inning, but 2 more runs for Baylor here in the second on the home run by Wesley Jordan and a run scoring single by Pearson Reebok. It's 8-0 Baylor. Bottom of the second coming up. Gus, I don't quite think he's ready to come out of the bullpen just yet, but that is Texas Tech basketball's Christian Anderson throwing out the first pitch earlier today.
Yeah, obviously a very, very big part of the Red Raiders Elite Eight ball club. Christian Anderson got to be getting some freshman type honors from around the conference and around the sport of college basketball. Maybe most importantly, though, he's announced his intent to be back next year. All signed up through all the collectives and such. So between he and JT Toppin, it's a nice start on next year's roster.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is for a team that was so close to the Final Four.
You got that right. Especially when you see the team that went on to win it.
Yes. You had those guys on the ropes.
Yeah, had them on the ropes. A couple of one-on-one free throws would have held them off, maybe.
Might have made a very big difference. Antonelli, Savatieri, Maxey, and Bame are due up here for the Red Raiders in the second inning.
Yeah, and if you believe all the rumors, there's more visits on campus here today. That men's basketball program. That's very exciting news.
Well, it's the way things are now.
Yes, it is. I don't think those visits are high school juniors anymore. I think they're established D1 products from around the country.
Yep, a lot of roster rebuilding everywhere. Savatieri's going to drop that ball in for a base hit. 3-1 pitch from Carson Bailey ripped out into left field. And the Red Raiders, as they did in the first, get their leadoff batter on. But can they move him around? Only the Red Raiders' second hit of the game, and now Dylan Maxey will bat. Maxey is one of 4 Red Raiders who had at least 2 hits in the ball game on Friday night. Both of Maxey's hits were singles. They came as the Red Raiders rallied in the 7th and 8th innings. That 7th inning single, a big chopper in the infield that wound up being thrown away at first base, and that ball is lifted out to Ty Johnson in center field for out number 1. And now Garrett Bame. Every Red Raider has put the ball in play, Gus, but only a couple have managed to land that ball safely.
Yeah, Bailey's done a nice job of staying off the barrel.
Bame a single and a double and drove in a couple of runs on Friday. Has a 12-game hit streak. Red Raiders would like to see that extended. Hard hit ball over at third. Reebok. There's one and over to first base. Garrett Bame has just grounded into an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. Savatieri erased, and the Red Raiders come up with nothing. On to the third. Baylor leading 8-0. 8-0 Bears. Gus talking about this a moment ago. Perhaps some basketball visitation going on campus today here in Lubbock. But that's the way it is these days. Baylor on this current roster, it's about half and half on guys that were there a year ago and guys that have come in.
Yep, fairly common. Boy, 3 sixth years. That goes all the way back to the COVID year. COVID years, 3 KG veterans there. Yeah, and you think about that, and you pair that nicely with Carson Bailey, young freshman on the mound for Baylor today. It's a nice sign for the program. You got the veterans trying to bring along the youngsters, and many of those veterans have set this youngster up with a good opportunity to get a win right here. 8 runs in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, that'll help.
Yes, sir.
Baylor batted 9 in the first inning, scored 6 runs, sent 6 more batters to the plate in the second inning. So it's 7, 8, and 9 in their batting order due up here in the third against the Red Raiders' Zane Petty. Johnson lifts that one up out into shallow left field. Logan Hughes will make the play. Coleman Ryan had drifted out from short. Ty Johnson had come over from his spot in center field, but Hughes makes the play. That's out number one.
Yeah, we mentioned it a couple times already. A little bit of wind blowing across from right to left. Not anything that's going to be super impactful to the game, but when the wind is blowing like that, it'll push more balls out of the infield and out into shallow left field. So you want that left fielder getting involved and attacking balls in the air.
That wind has pushed 3 home runs out to left field so far. No, I don't think the wind has had anything to do with those.
I'm not sure that any of those needed help.
Little ripped one out, a 2-run shot in the first, going to try to bunt his way on here. But that ball rolled foul.
A little showed bunt the pitch before, and sometimes you go up there in a spot like this, if you're not necessarily sacrificing, you're just thinking, hey, I'm going to see if I can catch that third baseman sleeping. Maybe he's a step or two deeper than you want him to be. Little shows bunt. And it comes back the next pitch and tries it again. So whatever Boehm did didn't impress him. He wanted to go right back to challenging Garrett.
Nice pitch there at 90 for a cold strike. Petty in front, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Little has the rarest of the rare home runs, an inside the park home run against Loyola Marymount back on March the 7th.
Yeah, those are hard to get. Usually that involves an outfielder being somewhat incapacitated. Maybe
running into the wall, perhaps?
Absolutely, running into the wall, or a couple guys colliding, or having a ball kick off his glove somewhere.
Struck him out.
A good breaking ball there to finish Little, and Petty got ahead a Little 0-2 a couple innings ago with 2 good breakers like that one. Similar swings, but boy, the third one he threw him was up, and Little hit that thing a ton. Way out of here for that home run. So Petty just doing a better job of executing that pitch, keeping it in the bottom of the zone. Swing and miss.
Petty is now retired the last 3 Baylor hitters he has seen. And here's the bottom of the order in Cortland Castle. Flied out to Bravo in right field to end that first inning. He's going to try and bunt his way on too. Garrett Boehm playing deep there behind third base.
And sometimes the best time to drag like that is maybe a pitch or 2 into the count, because the third baseman might relax and think, okay, he's not bunting. Maybe even get a strike into the count.
Well, he's going to drop that one in left field for a base hit. Hughes runs it down. Castle a big turn at first base, but he'll hustle back as the throw goes over Lopez at second and fielded by Zane Petty on the mound. But another hit for Baylor. That's 10 base hits here in the third inning.
Well, that ball really hit hard. Hughes was on his horse and had to cut that off over in the gap. Cortland Castle was thinking double as hard as he hit that. Hughes did a nice job of cutting that off. The ball was smoked.
Now 8 of the 9 Baylor players in the lineup have hit safely in this ball game. And it's back to the top of the order, and Enzo Apodaca. Castle over there at first. Gus, big fan of the Rangers. He's a catcher. Can you guess his favorite player?
I don't know. Is he old enough to have been Pudge Rodriguez?
Well, possibly, but his favorite player is Bobby Witt.
Oh, all right. That's a good trick question right there.
It was very much a trick question.
Well,
not sure why he wouldn't go with Pudge.
Oh, he's the Rangers catcher. If you were Mount Rushmore of Texas Rangers catchers, there's Pudge Rodriguez right there at the top of the mountain.
Yes.
One of the best to do it. That's why he's in Cooperstown. immortalized.
3-0 to Apodaca. There's a strike. Led off this ball game with a single and scored the first of the 8 runs that Baylor has on the scoreboard today. Second inning, he flied out to Ty Johnson there in center field. Or not Ty Johnson, the Red Raiders' Kendall Johnson. But ball 4, he's on with the walk. And after retiring the first 2 batters of this inning, Castle has a single, Apodaca a walk, and Baylor's got 2 on.
And it's that man, Wesley Jordan, at the plate. He has hit 2 laser beams over the wall, down deep in that left field corner. Both balls just so similar. Pulling the hands in, barreling pitches on the inside part of the plate and smoking them out there to the left field corner. Rockets that just cleared the wall.
His 4 hits a year ago against the Red Raiders there in the series in Waco included a home run. After going 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts on Friday night, he is 2 for 2 this afternoon with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. And batting for the 3rd time, Gus, in the 3rd inning.
Yes, the Bears have sent some traffic to the plate, no doubt.
Well, Gus, hat trick. That one's towering a lot more than the line drives he hit earlier, but that is Wesley Jordan's 3rd home run of the ball game. It's a 3-run shot, and Baylor is just piling it on now. What an afternoon for Wesley Jordan.
And this another count in which Petty was ahead and in control of the count with the 2-strike pitch. Very hittable.
Wow.
Jordan did not miss.
11-0 now Baylor. Zane Petty's day going to be wrapped up, but he retired the first 2 batters of the inning. Then Cortland Castle singled. He walked Apodaca, and then Wesley Jordan hits his 3rd home run of the afternoon. It's 11-0 Baylor here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd and a pitching change for the Red Raiders. Gus, no question about the importance of pitching in these ball games. Zane Petty roughed up by the Bears, and now Tim Tadlock will go to the bullpen for Will Jordan.
Yes, sir. Will Jordan, the freshman out of Weatherford, making his 10th appearance on the year. He's tied for the lead in this Red Raider ball club in that category. Will Jordan 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA in 13+ innings. You see the numbers there. About a walk per inning, but about a strikeout and a half per inning as well. Will Jordan, fastball, breaking ball, and a really good changeup out of that big 6'5" frame.
Baylor has sent 19 batters to the plate today. 11 of them have hits. And 3 home runs, 6 driven in by Wesley Jordan. It's 11-0 Baylor here in the top of the 3rd with 2 outs for Tyreek Kemp. Kemp doubled and scored in the 1st, grounded out to Lopez at 2nd in the 2nd inning.
On the screen, turn it off. Thank you.
Jordan trying to get the Red Raiders out of this inning. The Baylor's Bears are putting up some crooked numbers, Gus.
Yes, sir. 3 in a row.
After scoring only 2 in Friday night's series opener, both of them in the 2nd inning, they have come back and scored 6, 2, and 3, and are still batting here in the 3rd. And Jordan having trouble finding the strike zone. Wesley Jordan did not even reach base on Friday night. Today he has made 3 quick trips around the bases, Gus, with those 3 home runs. There's ball 4 to Kemp. Looking for somebody who can come in and try and get out of this mess. And the Red Raiders just keep putting Bears on base.
Tyler Boudreau begins to warm in the Tech bullpen.
Here's Hunter Simmons. He's got 2 hits today in 2 trips. A single and a double. Scored in the 2nd inning. Jordan, the big freshman out of Weatherford. In relief of starter Zane Petty. Who allowed 11 runs on 11 hits. Ground ball. Ryan will have to hurry here. Over to first base. Villeneuve, their inning is over, but Wesley Jordan's 3-run homer, his 3rd of the inning, extending the Baylor lead. It's 11-0 now after 2.5 here in Lubbock. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Red Raiders here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Gus, you've already had 4 Baylor Bears. The top 4 in their batting order have already batted 3 times today, and the Red Raiders are not even through the order one time yet.
Kendall Johnson and Coleman Ryan will make their first appearances at the plate. Baylor has already plated 11, and as you said, half of their lineup has made 3 trips to the plate. Pretty much give you an indication how this ball game's gone. And it's Carson Bailey doing a solid job through 2 innings. Carson Bailey looking for his first ever Big 12 win. He's in good shape for that if he continues this work right here.
He's allowed a couple of hits, each of them leadoff singles in the 1st and the 2nd. But in that 2nd, a fly out and then a 5-4-3 double play. The Bears' 23rd of the year ended that Red Raider threat. And Kendall Johnson in an 0-2 hole here. Did have a single on Friday. He's been on base in 5 straight games. Swing and a miss there, and becomes Carson Bailey's first strikeout. Victim of the day. 40th of the year for the freshman out of Richardson. And now Coleman Ryan. Showing bunt that had everybody in that Baylor infield on the move.
We've seen anywhere from 93 to 96 on the fastball here from this young left-hander. The fastball he finished off Kendall Johnson, 96 on the stadium radar gun.
93 there, but off the plate. Yeah, 96 gets up there to you in a hurry.
You got that right. That's impressive out of a youngster. Young freshman who may only get stronger.
That's ball 4. That's his first walk of the game. The Red Raiders have a 1-out base runner here in the bottom of the 3rd.
6'3", 202-pounder is Carson Bailey.
Has always been a strikeout throwing pitcher. Back to high school. Tracer Lopez is 1 for 1 today. He shows bunt, but does not offer on that pitch. Lopez in the series is 3 for 5. All 3 of those hits have been singles.
Baylor pitching coach Sean Snedeker out for a visit. Sean Snedeker pitched at A&M in the mid to late 80s. A couple years of pro ball, and then he's been pitching coach for a while at various stops along the way.
Not like his starter is in a huge jam at the moment.
Yeah, maybe a little mechanical something he wanted to correct.
Working with an 11-0 lead. Tracer Lopez has his second hit of the day. Gets that between short and third on the left side. Tracer 2 for 2, and now Damian Bravo. Coleman Ryan moves up to second. Now Damian Bravo, who was 1 for 4 on Friday night. That his only hit of the ball game, a single, did drive in a Red Raider run with a sacrifice fly. He flied out to right earlier today. Bailey from the stretch with runners at first and second. And now 2 balls and no strikes to Bravo. First ever hit for Damian Bravo as a Red Raider was a grand slam home run. He's got 8 home runs this season. In his career against Baylor, 2 for 11. Off speed pitch from Bailey there, fouled back, strike 2.
Good arm action there from Bailey. Pulled the string. Damian way out in front, kind of poking at that foul ball. He's hanging in there with a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Does he see that pitch again? Runners are going. Damian Bravo fouls the pitch off. I think Coleman Ryan would have had third base stolen, but too close for Damian Bravo not to take a hack at it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. With less than 2 strikes, you see your guy get a good jump like that. You can take that pitch and let those guys move up 90 feet. Because they did have Bailey timed well. Yeah, 3 soft ones in a row here to Bravo.
Not going. And Bravo rips that one foul on the left side. Bravo playing in the 100th career game for him. Well, Bravo could certainly get the Red Raiders on the board here with a base hit. That's up and away from the Red Raiders right fielder. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Takes that pitch up and away, ball 4. Tried to backdoor breaking ball him on a 3-2 pitch, but it stays up for ball 4. Bases are loaded for Logan Hughes.
Yeah, the Bears very correctly checked down to Jake Uhlenhock First base umpire said no, he did not go. Now there's bases loaded, one out, and an RBI opportunity here, a good RBI opportunity for a crooked number for the Red Raiders, and they need it, playing down 11 runs right here.
Bailey struck out Kendall Johnson to start the inning, but the next 3 Red Raiders have all reached base, 2 via the walk, and Tracer Lopez had a single. Logan Hughes in his first at bat grounded out to third. Watches that one up and in. I'd say with an 11-run lead, Bailey's got a bit of a leash out there.
Yes, he does.
Chopper in the infield, tough play for Travis Sanders. Did he tag Bravo at second base? But he threw it away at first. Bravo, I think, is out as Sanders able to tag the Red Raider base runner going to second, but 2 runs do score. Lopez comes around, as does Coleman Ryan when that ball was thrown away at first base.
Yeah, that'll go as a little fielder's choice there as he tagged him. Boy, he was in great shape to complete that double play, John, as that ball chopped. Thought Sanders might be able to, or was maybe going to play that in front of the baseline so that Bravo could run behind him, and then the only place there to first base. But Sanders able to apply the tag, but then he threw it away, allowing the extra run to score, so he gets the error on the throw.
Baylor committed a couple of errors on Friday night that aided the Red Raiders in that ball game. Both errors occurred in the 4-run 7th. The Red Raiders narrow the gap just a little bit, and now Robin Villeneuve.
Credit Hughes with 1 RBI on that play.
Yeah, 2 runners score, but the second of those scoring when the ball was thrown away at first base. From the bases loaded, Gus, to 1 on.
Yeah.
And you
just the 1 out.
Yes. That's Baylor did turn a double play against the Red Raiders in the 2nd inning. Villeneuve on Friday, 3 hits, of course, drove in a run, scored a run. Trying to keep this 3rd inning going for the Red Raiders. Swing and a miss, off speed, struck him out to end the inning. His 2nd strikeout of the inning, but the ground ball with the bases loaded and an error when off the bat of Logan Hughes. The Red Raiders get a couple. On to the 4th now. Baylor still in command, 11-2. Top of the 4th coming up. Baylor 11 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. Red Raiders have 2 runs on 3 hits. Have not committed an error in the series. It's 5, 6, and 7 in that Baylor batting order here in this 4th inning. Red Raiders unable to play last Saturday. Gus, snow was coming down sideways. And today, temperature expected to be in the mid-90s. It is quite a change from just 1 week ago.
Boy, you got that right. And both of these coaches were excited about that, just getting games in on schedule. There was a lot of that sort of thing, maybe not snow, but just a lot of postponements and doubleheaders and all the things in both baseball and softball around Big 12 last weekend.
Red Raiders had to finish their series with Cincinnati in a doubleheader on Sunday. Still, the temperatures that day in the 50s. It wasn't like it had warmed up much.
No, definitely not as comfortable as it is today. Yeah, kind of remarkable on Saturday when the snow was blowing sideways. There's maybe an inch or 2 on the ground here in Lubbock, but amazing that we had sunshine and temperatures in the 50s on Sunday. Kind of gave you an idea of what an anomaly that was. A little one-day phenomenon there. I'm sure the weather people had meteorologists had a lot of fun with that. Something to talk about.
There was piles of melting snow here at the ballpark that day. Reebok has batted twice today, reached and scored on a fielder's choice in the first, singled in a run in the second inning. Has his second hit of the day. That'll drop in over the head of Tracer Lopez in right field. Bravo gets it back in. Bears have another hit, their 12th of the day, and the leadoff batter on here in this fourth inning.
Jordan pitching behind in the count. Has to lay a fat one in there on 3-1. Reebok puts a good swing on it for his second base hit of the day.
His third hit of the series. And now Travis Sanders. Sanders struck out to end the second. In his last at bat, he doubled in a run in the first. And Tim Tadlock is out of that Red Raider dugout over on the third base side. And very likely the afternoon for Will Jordan has come to an end. Tadlock looking out towards the bullpen in left field. He'll make a pitching change as the Red Raiders have a reliever on the way in. It's 11-2 Baylor. Nobody out, runner on here in the fourth inning. Well, the Red Raiders looking for somebody out of that bullpen who can silence the Baylor bats. Connor Mohan, Gus, the next guy to try.
Yeah, making his 8th appearance. 6 of those in relief. You see the season totals there. He last pitched on Tuesday and had a rough outing over in Albuquerque. Got the start in that one. Mohan on here in this ball game. 1 on, nobody out. And a 9-run deficit.
Baylor swinging the bats about as well as you could. They're 12 for 21. They're batting in this ball game .571. And it's reflected on that scoreboard. And here's Travis Sanders. 1 for 2 today with a double and a strikeout. He's driven in a couple of runs in the series. Baylor only scored 2 runs on Friday. He drove in 1 of those. Mohan, big arm, 93 there, but off the plate to start the Bears' second baseman. Swing and a miss there. Change of speeds, Gus. If it's working, it's hard to make contact.
Yeah, and located well. That's a good spot for it. Sanders looking for a fastball he can rip.
Mohan, a Red Raider freshman out of Centennial High School in Burleson. Red Raiders, mentioned this earlier, have not named a starter for Sunday. Neither has Baylor, but Mohan, a guy who has started earlier this week, but unlikely to be the Sunday starter. But Gus, you're running through some bullpen people, and here's Sanders, rips that ball into left field for a base hit. That's back-to-back singles here to start this fourth inning.
Travis Sanders continues his good work. A couple of hits here last night, 2 more here today.
Baylor with 13 hits now in this ball game. And 11 runs, and nobody out in this fourth inning for Ty Johnson. Johnson is the only player in this Baylor lineup today who does not have a base hit. He struck out and flied out. Struck out in the first, flied out into shallow left field in the third. Here's the 2-1 from Mohan to Johnson, and that's way inside, ball 3. Johnson has just 1 home run this season, but it was the first of the year for Baylor in their season opening series against Youngstown State. Bears have 4 home runs today, 3 of them from Wesley Jordan. Three and 2 pitch, low, ball 4. Well, that'll load the bases. As good as Mac Hewer, Jack Siebert, and Trendon Parrish were on Friday night, this has been just the opposite for the Red Raiders.
Yes, indeed. Red Raiders scratched a couple of runs. In the bottom of the 3rd, they're in danger of giving up those 2 runs right here.
Ground ball off the bat of Little. That throw to second base pulls Tracer Lopez off the bag. And safe there will be Ty Johnson. Run will score on Little's fielder's choice ground ball. And the Red Raiders still do not get an out.
You know, with Bame's actions, yeah, it's a good call. With Bame's actions there on that ground ball, kind of carrying him up, not necessarily toward the bag at third base, but into the line. I thought he might pick it up, step on third, and throw to first. At this point, you would trade that run for 2 outs.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised to see him go to the middles. I don't think that double play was going to happen, and maybe it wouldn't have happened the way I'm describing it, but an out without having to make a throw.
Softly hit ground ball off the bat of Little. And now Cortland Castle, who singled in his last at bat, scored in that 3rd inning, came around to touch home plate on the 3-run homer by Wesley Jordan. Baylor has scored in every inning of the game so far. Here's a ground ball towards Lopez, slowly hit. He'll have just 1 play at first base. Reached out as Little ran past him, but did not touch the Baylor base runner. So Castle is out at first, but the Bears do get another run. They have gotten both back that the Red Raiders scored in their 3rd.
And Little's ground ball was scored an error, an E5. He does get credited with an RBI on that play, because whether or not that run was going to score, regardless of the play there, whether he stepped on third or goes to the middle of the infield.
And now Apodaca, who has batted 3 times today and scored twice, reached on a single in the 1st and a walk in the 3rd. Flied out to center in his 2nd at bat. He's up for the 4th time today in the 4th inning.
You know, there might be a point here over the next inning or 2 in which you see perhaps Dylan Maxey taken out of this game.
Chopper back up the middle. Lopez behind the bag at 2nd. Long throw over to 1st. Nice scoop by Villeneuve there to retire Apodaca, but another run does score for Baylor.
Yeah, fantastic play. Big chopper back through the middle. Lopez getting that ball right there on that hop is probably a big key to this, because it allows him to get rid of it just a split second sooner. Nice work over there by Villeneuve.
Johnson scores. It's 14-2 Baylor. Now the man of the day for the Bears. The Raiders are going to let Mohan pitch to him. First base is wide open, Gus.
Yeah, it's also 14-2.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Wesley Jordan has batted in the first, the second, and the third, and hit a home run each time. No off speed there. That was not a home run swing. Strike two. Clearly the fault of a bat there. Here's the 1-2. He's had a tremendous day. Rips that one down the line, but it's foul. That's what the first two home runs looked like, but they just kept on going.
Yeah, screamers into the corner, got over the wall.
Came into this game with 5 home runs. He's got the team lead with 8 now. And way up and away. Four home runs among the Bears' 13 hits. That's ball 3. Jordan, the 7th Bear to bat here in the third or the 4th inning. That's way inside, ball 4. That's the second walk by Mohan since coming on in relief of Jordan. Now Baylor with runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Tyreek Kemp to bat. His lone hit today came in that first. It was a double down into the right field corner. Kemp, born in the Netherlands. From a baseball playing family out of the Caribbean, lifts that one into left field. A lot of room for Logan Hughes, but he's right at the wall to make the catch to end that inning. But 3 more runs for Baylor. They lead it 14-2 now after 3.5 here in Lubbock. Well, there are the numbers today. 14-13-1 for the Bears, 2-3-1 for the Red Raiders as Baylor tries to even this series at 1 win apiece. They are well on their way to doing that unless the wheels come off. They have roughed up the Red Raiders here early on in this ball game with 4 home runs, 3 of them from Wesley Jordan. The Red Raiders got a couple of runs in their last at bat, but have a long way to go. It's Savatieri, Maxey, and Garrett Bain due up for the Red Raiders here in the 4th. Savatieri does have one of the Red Raiders' 3 hits. That was a single to lead off the 2nd inning. Chops that one over the mound. Here's Travis Sanders. Will have to hurry. Outstanding play by the Bears' second baseman. On the run. Fielding that big chopper behind the mound in time to first base for out number 1. Now Dylan Maxey, who has been to the plate 1 time today, flied out to center. Had a couple of hits on Friday night. Both were singles. Singled in the 7th, singled again in the 8th inning. Would drive in a couple of runs as the Red Raiders won 9-2. Tech had 13 hits in that game. Reebok with the throw. Maxey retired. Gus, the 13 hits last night and the 13 hits today don't seem quite the same.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Red Raiders last night had 2 extra base hits. They were both doubles. The Bears today have 7 extra base hits, and 4 of them are home runs. The other 3 are doubles. Hard hit ball right at Kemp. That is a long throw from shallow left field, but in time to retire Boehm. Red Raiders go in order in the 4th. We're on to the 5th with Baylor on top 14-2. Well, not that far away. Coming up in May, it's the 2025 Phillips 66 Big 12 Baseball Championship, returning to Globe Life Field for the 4th consecutive season. This year's tournament features a new single elimination format with more teams. There are 12 now who'll be involved in the tournament. Starting on May 21st, all games will air or be simulcast on Big 12 on ESPN+. Select games, including the championship, will also be broadcast on the ESPN family of networks. Gus, the Bears won that tournament back in 2018.
It's a good one. It's a heck of a setup. Yeah, in 2018, that would have been in Oklahoma City. Bricktown, the longtime host for that tournament. Now being played in Arlington, which is really nice.
It's got a roof.
Yes, indeed. That climate control. If you're uncomfortable watching a game in there, something's wrong. You're really picky. Or maybe you just got a loud guy sitting next to you or something like that.
2018, one of those 4 seasons the Red Raiders finished their year in Omaha.
Yes, sir. That team could swing it. That Red Raider club could. That postseason run featured, I think Louisville was here in the regional. Tech beat them in the finals of that regional, and the Duke Blue Devils came to town for the super regional.
Not just basketball on that campus.
No, that's right. They have a solid baseball program.
Simmons, Reebok, and Sanders here for Baylor in the 5th inning. Connor Mohan continues on the mound for the Red Raiders. The 3rd pitcher used today. Zane Petty roughed up. Gave way to Will Jordan. Now Connor Mohan. Got Simmons looking. The DH, who had 2 hits when he went to the plate that time, retired for the 2nd time today. And out number 1. Four strikeouts today by Red Raider pitching. They struck out 8 on Friday. On a big swing and a miss by Reebok.
Yeah, good change up to start him there. Mohan pulled the string on him. Reebok way out in front.
Reebok's driven in a couple of runs. Hits that one pretty well to center field. Long run for Kendall Johnson, but quick enough to get near the warning track, get turned around, and make the catch for out number 2. Gus, that's one of those deals like turning off the lights and getting under the covers before the room gets dark. He hustled back there, turned completely around, and stood there to make the catch.
Yeah, good read. Well, he has been so impressive defensively since he got here. Moves around quickly, good first steps, good reads. Saw him make a near diving catch earlier today. Saw him make a diving catch yesterday.
Sanders gives that one a ride to right field, but plenty of room for Damian Bravo. In fact, he starts back in on that fly ball to make the catch. Baylor retired in order for the first time today. They don't score in the 5th, but still it's 14-2 Bears. Bottom of the 5th coming up here from Danlaw Field at Rip Griffin Park in Lubbock. John Harris alongside former Red Raider Dr. Mike Gustafson. Red Raiders retired in order by Carson Bailey in the 4th. Don't have to get them all at once, Gus. You just got to get a few at a time.
Yeah, it's running out of time to chip away. Somewhere in there needs to be a big old gaudy crooked number. Carson Bailey's doing his part to keep that from happening. Gave up a couple runs in the 3rd. Settled down in the 4th for a quick 1-2-3 inning. 3 ground balls, 3 quick outs.
Red Raiders had 2 of those crooked number innings last night. 7th and the 8th, 4 runs in each of those innings. That would make it a little more interesting. Kendall Johnson, who caught that fly ball to end the inning, or for out number 2 in the top half of this inning, to lead off. Coleman Ryan to follow, and then back to the top of the order and Tracer Lopez. 1 at bat today for the young freshman. He struck out back in the 3rd. That's the disparity today. Some of these Baylor players have already batted 4 times. In fact, most of their order. That's way inside to Johnson.
Goodness, yeah, he's showing bunt right there, and that thing kind of hit him. Looked like it hit him right in the chest. Most of the time, guys can sort of turn and protect themselves a little bit, but this fastball, a big miss up and in. Right there, hit him right between the S and the T. Ouch.
Wonder if it got him on the hand.
It may have. It may have rattled off some stuff. Yeah, not a glancing blow as the ball rolls halfway back to the mound. Kendall Johnson's a tough kid.
Well, you need base runners.
Yeah, you do. Goodness, what's it like to get hit in the chest with 93 miles an hour? Well, that's Kendall Johnson. He can tell you.
Doesn't feel good.
No, not a glancing blow either. Goodness gracious. Scary. Yeah, I was watching a big league game last week, and I forget who it was. It might have been the Sunday night game in which Red Raider Hunter Dobbins made his major league debut. And somebody threw a pitch up and in there, and when they ran the replay back.
Well, that ball is going to land just foul.
When they ran the replay back, you could hear the catcher yell at the hitter, "Look out!" Like, you know, because the pitch was just a big location miss.
Yeah.
It's obviously wasn't thrown with menace, but it was a headshot, and well, that's kind of chilling when you hear the home plate and the umpire like, what? I mean, the catcher and the home plate umpire both alerting the hitter that it's coming. That's scary business.
Yeah.
Nothing like 90, 95 coming at your head.
Not a lot of time to react.
No, those guys in the big leagues do it every day, and these college kids have a lot more 90s thrown at their heads.
Nice breaking ball there. It got Ryan. Got him on a called strike 3. 3rd strikeout today for Carson Bailey. And that's out number 1 here in this 5th inning.
Yeah, good breaker. Freezes Ryan. He knew it. Heading back to the dugout. Just unable to pull the trigger on that delivery.
Tracer Lopez has been the hottest Red Raider in this series. Trying to bunt for a hit. He's 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles and 4 for 6 in the series. Has hits in 11 of the Red Raiders' last 13 games. He's been outstanding with the bat, and in the leadoff spot. Runner goes, throw is going to be up high, and they are not going to get Kendall Johnson on the stolen base. It's his 3rd of the year. And now Lopez batting with the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Johnson gets a pretty good jump there. It's a breaking ball up and out of the zone. Not a bad pitch for Castle to throw on.
Lopez lifts that one out into left field. Hit it fairly deep, but it'll come down to Jordan there. Tagging at second and hustling over to third is Kendall Johnson. So the long fly ball out off the bat of Tracer Lopez moves Johnson over to third base. That's a quick guy, Gus. from second to third on a ball hit to left field.
You are correct about that. And Kendall wants to run, and he likes to run. Staying aggressive right here. Obviously, his ball club down 12 runs.
Swing and a miss by Damian Bravo, who is 0 for 1 today. Flied out to right. He walked to load the bases back in the third.
Infield very deep, and they're playing Damian to pull here.
Travis Sanders is in shallow right center field. He's the Bears' second baseman. Bravo's got just one hit in the series. Castle behind the plate trying to do a good job of framing up that pitch. 1-2 to Bravo. Bravo came in hitting .389 to start this series in Big 12 play. Had one hit yesterday. Looking for his first today. Rolled that one over Johnson's head, but it's foul on the third base side.
Kendall taking his lead in foul territory for that very reason. If it hits him, and he's not the only one that does this. That's how you're taught. Take the lead in foul territory. If you get hit by a hit ball like that, you're not out. If you're in the line, you're out. And he ducks under it.
Bravo hits that one pretty hard out to right field. Oh, a sliding catch attempted by Apodaca, but he cannot come up with the ball. Great effort. Johnson will score from third on the play, and Bravo hustled down to second base as that ball got away from the Bears' right fielder.
Yeah, heck of an effort by Apodaca. He's coming in trying to make a shoestring catch. Looked like he was in good shape there, but must have got him on the heel, and it kicked off back in toward the infield. Bravo sees it get loose. He hits first base with some purpose and busts it down to second. He's in scoring position here with 2 outs.
Red Raiders get a run across. That'll be scored as a hit now, and Logan Hughes at the plate. Hughes looking for his first hit of the day. Ground ball hard up the middle. Sanders playing way out in shallow right field. Not going to get the ball over there quickly enough. Playing deep against Hughes. Had to move to his right to field that ball and just could not get the throw off quickly enough back over to first base. And he legs out that somewhat of an infield single, Gus. It's an infield single to shallow right field.
Yes, it is. Playing that out there behind the bag at second, getting off a good strong throw over there at first. Sanders has flashed the leather a bit here, showing off that good strong arm. That play does, however, save a run as he keeps the ball in the infield.
Yeah, Bravo can't come around from second base and score. He's at third now. And Robin Villeneuve will bat 0 for 2 today, after having 3 hits in the series opener. Couple of singles and a double. That double his 14th as a Red Raider. This a guy at Weatherford College back in 2023 who hit 28 home runs, so he's clearly got some pop in the bat. There are 2 outs here, but the Red Raiders do have a run in and have Damian Bravo 90 feet away from another. Got him. Backdoor breaker from the freshman Carson Bailey. Strikes out Villeneuve looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and they both got caught on called third strikes. Red Raiders do get a run, but Baylor still way out in front as we head to the 6th, 14-3. Top of the 6th coming up here at Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park. 7, 8, and 9 in that Baylor batting order. A couple of defensive changes for the Red Raiders too, Gus.
Yeah, we talked about this an inning or two ago. If that score continued the way it had, that you might see Maxey get taken out of the game just to save his legs a bit for the what figures to be the rubber game here tomorrow. Davis Rivers takes his place behind the plate, and also Peyton Schultz in at first base. He is in for Robin Villeneuve.
Schultz, the senior transfer to the Red Raiders by way of Cal. Johnson, Little, and Castle are due up for the Bears. Johnson's 2 hits on Friday were a single and a double. He remains the only Baylor player without a base hit today in this game. 13 hits for the Bears. He's been on base with a walk and scored in the 4th inning.
John, we talked about Hunter Dobbins making his big league debut last Sunday for the Red Sox. Became the 39th Red Raider to appear in a big league game. Got the win in his major league debut last night. Davis Martin, not his major league debut, however. 6 innings of 1-run baseball and a win for the White Sox. So Davis has had 2 very good starts in his first 3 outings. Congratulations to Davis Martin.
Oh, yes.
Good to see Josh Young back in the lineup this week for the Rangers.
Fly ball lifted into center field. Kendall Johnson makes the play. That's out number 1.
I believe the other Red Raider big leaguer, the other Red Raider to make it on a big league roster out of camp is Mason Montgomery. He's working out of the bullpen for the Rays. He had an outing maybe a week and a half ago, John. He went a scoreless inning. The fastballs were all 97, 98, and there was 100 in there. The old left-hander. How about that?
Oh, that's even more wicked.
Yeah, it is. Gets there in a hurry. Good to see those guys doing well, and there's probably 2 or 3 more guys that are knocking on the big leagues. Andrew Morris in AAA. Mr. Birdsell in the Cubs organization in AAA. The other one here, a local boy, Monterey High School, Texas Tech, Braxton Fulford. He had homers in 4 consecutive starts. They're in AAA Albuquerque. He, of course, behind the plate, wearing the gear. It'll be fun to see who's next. Who's the next big leaguer out of that group?
Connor Mohan has retired 5 straight Baylor batters. Struck out 1 of them. The other 4 have flied out to left field, center field twice, and right field once. Two and 2 pitch comes in at about 59 feet. Now 3 and 2. He got Johnson on a fly ball out a moment ago on a 3 and 2 pitch. It'll be his 50th pitch of this game. And that one is ripped into left field. Logan Hughes can't cut it off all the way to the wall. And Little is headed towards second base with another extra base hit for the Bears. And his 2nd hit of the day.
That ball was smoked. There's a look at that swing. He drills that thing into the corner. Hughes' decision was pretty simple. Hustle back there and play it off the wall. Keep it to a double. He wasn't going to cut that thing off.
Little's had a pretty good day. A home run and a couple of runs driven in back in the 1st. He drove in another run in the 4th. And now his 2nd extra base hit, that double. Whoa, that ball got over the net over there.
Yeah, just enough of a hump to get over the net and not clear the seating area. You don't see many hot ones in the stands these days with all the netting in these ballparks, but fortunately everybody up there, okay, they saw it coming and duck out of the way. They're up there protected. They're in the shade. They're in a good spot.
That's the thing. They're sitting in the shade. Castle, big swing and a miss there for strike 2. Connor Mohan is the 3rd Red Raider pitcher today. 4 home runs by Baylor batters and 4 doubles among their 14 hits. Got Castle looking. Mohan at 93. And Castle will sit down for out number 2.
Yeah, some off-speed stuff earlier in that sequence. Castle was looking for something soft and got the heater. There is some activity in the Baylor bullpen. Right-hander starting to toss a little bit.
Top of the order now for Apodaca. That ball got away from Davis Rivers, and while he's looking for it, Jack Little hustles over to third base.
Yeah, that scored as a wild pitch.
Apodaca singled to start this ball game, and Baylor has never looked back. They got 6 runs in the first. 2 more in the second, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth. They did not score in the 5th. They have not scored here in the 6th. But they do have a runner at third base. Ground ball. Hoovered up by Tracy Lopez. The inning is over. 2nd consecutive inning. The Bears do not score, but they are way out in front. 14-3 over the Red Raiders. Bottom of the 6th coming up for the Red Raiders, facing Baylor starter Carson Bailey, who's been outstanding. 4 strikeouts today. He's hit 1 Red Raider batter, walked a couple, and scattered 5 hits so far, and certainly backed by a very, very potent offense today.
Yes, sir. Baylor just 2 runs last night. Boy, they came out hot. 6 runs in the first, 2 more in the second, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth. The first 11 off of Zane Petty. Petty had been outstanding in his last 2 starts, but roughed up here today. Will Jordan went 1/3 of an inning, gave up a run.
Breaking ball froze Savatieri there for just a moment. Singled in the second. He grounded out in the 4th. A swing and a miss there, off speed and up, and he swings through it for out number 1. Now Davis Rivers, he's come in behind the plate for Dylan Maxey, batting for the first time in this series. Rivers earlier in the week against New Mexico. Red Raiders lost that one on the road over in Albuquerque, but Rivers had a double against the Lobos. Carson Bailey going to a whole lot of breaking pitches, Gus.
Yes, indeed. He has spun a few here to these 2 left-handed hitters.
This is the 100th career at bat for Davis Rivers. Last 2 hits for the sophomore out of Waller have been a double and a home run. Had that home run against Cincinnati. Bailey has 5 strikeouts now. His season best is 7. Oh, that pitch stays up and in to the Red Raider catcher. You think they hollered "look out" down there on that?
Well, that looked like a breaking ball he left up and in. He has thrown a bunch of spinners here to Davis Rivers.
Oh, that one's over his head.
Another slider, another delivery at his head. He has uncorked a couple there. I don't know if Rivers lost track of the fact that that was just ball 3, or if maybe he was saying, hey, I think it hit me. Regardless, he's back up there.
I don't think it nicked the helmet.
And Coach Tadlock's going to come out to talk to home plate umpire just to make sure they're clear on what happened. It clearly was ball 3. Making sure everyone was crystal clear on the fact that it didn't hit him. And yeah, that view is not going to tell us much. Obviously, if it hit him, it barely ticked him. Not enough to work with on a replay.
Oh, and he swings and misses at strike 3. Last 3 Red Raider batters against Bailey have all struck out. So he's gone almost exclusively to off-speed pitches, and now Garrett Boehm. Boehm has grounded into a double play back in the 2nd, grounded out to short in the 4th. Has the distinction of grounding into more double plays this season than any other Red Raider batter. That's 6 now. Trying to get a 2-out rally of some kind going. Big chopper over towards the shortstop, Kemp. Long throw, but the outstanding shortstop for Baylor, Tyreek Kemp, makes the play. Red Raiders go in order in the 6th. We are on to the 7th now. Baylor up by 11. Top of the 7th coming up. Baylor Bears in control of this one. Man of the hour, Wesley Jordan, going to lead off here, Gus. He has equaled a Baylor record today.
Yes, he has. The last player to hit 3 home runs in a game, Shea Langoliers. Now, Shea Langoliers is now the, I don't know what we're calling him now, the Sacramento Athletics, the old Oakland A's. He's their catcher. And Shea Langoliers' little sister, Alexa Langoliers, is Jerry Glasgow's second baseman, transferred here with Coach Glasgow on the Red Raider softball team that is leading the Big 12.
Pretty good company.
You bet.
But Wesley Jordan, 3 home runs today. 6 runs, 6 of those 14 driven in by the Baylor left fielder. He walked in his only other at-bat today. That was in the 4th inning. Little looper into short center field, and Kendall Johnson can't get there in time. Jordan's got his 4th hit of the day. This one didn't go quite as far, but gets him on base for the 4th time. Now Tyreek Kemp, who has a double in 3 trips. Ground out and a fly ball out, also walked in this game. The big difference are these first 3 in the batting order, who last night against the Red Raiders had 1 hit between them. Bate, Apodaca's got a single. Jordan's got 3 home runs and a single. Kemp has a double. They've all scored. They've accounted for 7 runs. And Jordan has 6 runs driven in. Apodaca's got a run driven in. So they have come back strong after Friday night's 9-2 Red Raider win.
You mentioned that Shea Langelier's 3 home run ball game. He had 11 RBIs to go with that one.
Ooh.
Pretty full day. There's probably something else involved in there, maybe beyond the home runs. Could have been a grand slam, could have been a sac fly or a 2 RBI double or something.
Maybe 2 grand slams.
Yeah, could be, absolutely. We saw Parker Kelly do that here a couple of years ago. Why not?
2 grand slams and a 3-run homer add up to 11. That ball will get through on the left side. Coleman Ryan can't cut it off. Now back-to-back singles to start this 7th inning. And here's Hunter Simmons. He's got 2 hits today. Did strike out in his last at-bat. But a remarkably different day for Baylor with the bats. 16 hits today. And nobody out. They have not scored in the last 2 innings, the 5th or the 6th, but threatening again here with runners at first and second and nobody out for their DH, Hunter Simmons. That ball gets away from Davis Rivers, but nobody trying to move up.
There's a left-hander working in the Red Raider bullpen.
Simmons started the day with 45 hits. He's added a couple of more, but that put him among the top 10 in the Big 12. And a .369 batting average to begin this day was also among the top 10. Big swing and a miss there.
Connor Mohan will show you a little feel for a changeup.
Simmons, the Bear that only played in 5 games a year ago, broke his leg in that 5th game, and somewhat remarkable that he's even back playing this year, and he's been really good. That ball ripped down the right field line, and it is just foul. Well, some fans sitting down there by themselves. Got a souvenir, Gus?
Yeah, you bet. A shade tree down the right field corner. Good place to be. Temperatures over 90 now.
1-2, runners start, and Simmons fouls that pitch off. Well, Gus, unofficially it's 94 degrees.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good day to find some shade.
That's about 60 degrees warmer than last Saturday.
Yes, sir.
There's another souvenir. Although might be flat on one side.
Yeah, young baseball fan. He was tracking that the entire way. Played it off the dugout. Picked it up. He's happy. That's exactly how it should be, right? Little guy hunting down a foul ball.
Yeah. Not worried about the score. He just got a souvenir.
Betcha.
He may be asked to throw it back, though, if Simmons keeps fouling off pitches.
Running out of baseballs.
Back in the old day, might have been your job a game or two. Go fetch a couple of balls back.
Chasing down foul balls. Most everybody, even the programs that had a lot of money back in the late 80s were returning foul balls. Yep.
Probably should have sent a ball girl up there with a coupon for something at the concession stand. Here, give us the ball back and you can go. Get something.
You bet. That was the sport at Little League games when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
Turn that foul ball for a free snow cone.
Well, it took a while. Swing and a miss. Simmons strikes out. for out number one.
And Simmons chased several changeups in that sequence. Mohan kept coming with that pitch, and Simmons was chopping him foul and hanging in there, but ultimately chases one down and out of the zone.
Now with 1 out, 2 on, Pearson Reebok. He's got a couple of hits today. Mohan came into the game back in the 4th inning. Here he is in the 7th.
The Red Raiders do not have a midweek game this coming week. Now they will start many of the series. Most, if not all, of the Big 12 series will start on Thursday, as next weekend is Easter. The Red Raiders will be in Tempe. Baylor does have a midweek game. They play Tuesday in Arlington against UT Arlington, and then they'll host Utah next weekend.
Get back down I-35.
You bet. The easy part about that is that's a bus trip. That's like high school. Get in the bus, drive up there and play, and come home. Sleep in your own bed.
Stop off at Buc-ee's, maybe, you think?
Yeah. What's the kolache place there in Hillsboro, West, down in there somewhere?
Are buses welcome at Buc-ee's?
I don't know.
Might be.
I can't imagine they're not.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Oh, that's lifted out to left field. Logan Hughes trying to get a beat on that ball, and he does. Makes it look a very casual catch on the warning track on the move, and gets that ball back in very quickly, and the runners not able to advance. Reebok is out, and that's 2 away here in the Bears' 7th inning. Mohan started this inning with Jordan and Kemp both singling, but he struck out Simmons, gets Reebok to fly out there, and now Travis Sanders. Sanders has had a good weekend so far, a couple of hits today.
And this is his 3rd time to square off with Mohan. Singled and scored in the 4th off of Connor. He was the first player to face Mohan, and Mohan got him in the 5th inning. Fly ball to right field to end that inning. Boy, Travis Sanders has been very good here. He's flashed the leather at second base. 2 hits in each of the first 2 ball games.
Yeah, 4 for 7 at the plate. It's that one right back up the middle. There's his 5th hit of the series. Picked up in center field by Johnson. His throw goes to third to stop the runner there. But coming from second to score is Wesley Jordan. Bears have another run, and Sanders has his 3rd hit of this game. (15-3) Baylor now. And here's Ty Johnson. (17 hits by the Bears. And Ty Johnson doesn't have one of them. Struck out, flied out to left, walked to load the bases, and flied out to center field.
Well, the record for most opponents' hits in the Texas Tech record book, 23. Arkansas did it in 1984. Rice did it in 1983. So 6 away from that record of the Baylor Bears. The most opponent runs, 28. That came in 1985. Texas.
1983, 84, and 85.
Yeah. 2 hits records and the opposing runs record.
Got him looking. Mohan strikes out Ty Johnson to end the inning. But the Bears do add one more run. It's 15-3 as we head to the Stretch half of the 7th inning here in Lubbock. Well, bottom of the 7th about to get underway here in Lubbock, and the day is done for Carson Bailey, the Baylor starter. Outstanding. 3 runs on 5 hits against Red Raider bats, and now it's Caleb Bunch out of their bullpen.
Yeah, the big senior, 6'6", 213 pounds. He now leads them in appearances. He makes his 14th trip to the mound. Very good numbers there. Just 2 walks in 22+ innings. Opposing batters hitting .232 off the big right-hander, Caleb Bunch. DFW kid. He's pride of Keller, Texas.
Came to the Bears from Northwestern State. And he will see 8, 9, and 1 in that Red Raider batting order here in this 7th inning.
Carson Bailey was very good. 6 innings of 3-run baseball. 2 of those runs were earned. 5 hits, a couple of walks. He struck out 6. He stands to win this ball game.
Yeah, he was outstanding. First pitch swinging as Johnson right down the first base line. Scooped up there by Little, makes the play himself, and there's 1 away. That's 5 consecutive Red Raider batters retired by Baylor pitching. Now Coleman Ryan, who's been to the plate just 2 times today, walked and scored in the Red Raiders' 3rd, and he struck out in the 5th. Ryan also walked and scored in Friday night's game for the Red Raiders. Lifts that one into center field. Easy play for Ty Johnson, and very quickly there are 2 out here in the Red Raider 7th.
Bunch doing his job. It's a perfect assignment for him. He's a strike thrower. Hand him a 12-run lead. Hey, go fill it up, kid. Make these guys get a lot of hits and a lot of traffic to get back in the ball game. 2 quick outs here off the bats of these Red Raider hitters at the bottom of the order.
24 at-bats today for the Red Raiders. There have been those 6 strikeouts. Red Raiders have put the ball in play, but Baylor defensively today has made all of the plays necessary. Tracer led off for the Red Raiders in the 1st with a single, singled again in the 3rd. 5th inning, he flied out to left field. He's 4 for 7 in the series. Lifts that one out to left field. Hit pretty well. Going back on it is Bergman, and he's not going to be able to get it. Tracer Lopez has just hit 1 out. His 3rd home run of the season. A solo shot with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Lopez started this ball game with a couple of base hits through the left side. Hitting balls with authority that direction. Here he elevates one. Backspins it, chases it out of here into that Red Raider bullpen.
Well, he extends a 5-game hitting streak to 6 with those singles earlier, and that's the Red Raiders' 2nd extra base hit of the day. Now Damian Bravo down towards 3rd, playing way back there is Reebok. Bounces it over to first base. Little makes the play, and the Red Raiders' 7th inning is over, but the Red Raiders do get a run on the solo blast by Tracer Lopez. It's 15-4 Baylor, headed to the 8th inning. Top of the 8th, The Baylor Bears are going to see a new Red Raider pitcher, Gus.
It is Jordan Espinoza, left-hander out of California. Youngster making his 5th appearance. You see the totals there. His season of work, just an inning and 2/3. In Big 12 play, he has made 1 appearance, faced 1 hitter, gave up a home run.
Ooh.
Espinoza on to eat up an inning or 2 right here. Connor Mohan did just that as well. He entered the ball game on the backside of a big Baylor lead. Ended up giving his ball club 4 innings. 5 hits, 3 runs. 2 of those runs were earned. Walked a couple, struck out 4. Connor Mohan getting his work in today.
Not a bad outing for Mohan, and now Espinoza will face the Bears. It's 8, 9, and 1 in their batting order. Little, Castle, and Apodaca are the Bears who are due up. 15 runs for Baylor, 17 hits. Hard throwing Espinoza, 93 with that pitch to Little inside on the plate. Little has a couple of hits today, both for extra bases. He blasted a 2-run homer in the first, had a double in the Bears' 6th.
Couple of 93-mile-an-hour deliveries to start. Little. Wish that on our Coca-Cola Stadium radar gun out in deep right center field. A handy resource for those of us in the booth.
Oh, comes back a breaker at 84 there. Big swing and a miss by Little. That home run for Little was his 6th of the year. Apodaca, Jordan, and Little all began the day with 5 home runs. But Wesley Jordan hit 3 in this game. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. A lot of arm movement by Espinoza and a swing and a miss by Little.
Yeah, good breaking ball to finish. Little. Nice pitch sequence there by Jordan Espinoza.
Here's Cortland Castle. 1 for 4 today with a single. He scored in the 3rd inning. He's driven in a run as well. Behind the plate today. He and J.J. Kennett share duties there. Well, fans down to our right seem surprised, Gus, by a foul ball dropping into the seats there near them.
Just enough wind coming over the top of that screen, pushing out the left field. Might have kept that ball in. They might have thought, hey, I'm in good shape here. That's going to bounce off that roof and get out of here, right?
No.
No, sir. Take your eyes off of that thing. I can tell you this, John, after probably been calling games in this booth for the better part of now 15 years, there has never been a foul ball get into this booth right here.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's exactly what I just did.
I'm bringing a glove.
Yes, and a helmet. And I'm with you. I think just the height of that net is just right, that it hasn't gotten over that. We've got the overhang above us, so it's hard. The only thing that got close, as I recall, was a bunt foul ball that didn't have enough to get up to that overhang and had enough to get over the netting. I'm just fine with it being that way as well.
How about that? Shoestring catch by Tresa Lopez there at second off the bat of Castle. Little line drive sinking right at him and down on one knee to make that play.
Yeah, good swing there by Castle, but he hit it right on Lopez.
Here's the top of the Baylor order, and Enzo Apodaca batting for the 6th time today. Red Raiders have 6 hits in the game. The Baylor right fielder is up for the 6th time. He's got 1 hit. He scored 2 runs and driven in a run today. Caleb Bergman is on deck. He has taken over out in left field for Wesley Jordan. Oh, big swing and a miss there. Figure out what you got to do to get some rest time in that Baylor lineup. Gus hit 3 home runs and drive in 6.
Yep, call it a day.
You can call it a day. Go home early. Two and one pitch inside to Apodaca. He did walk in the 3rd inning, but the Red Raiders kept him off the bases in 4 at-bats on Friday night. That is a mile-high pop-up into right center field. Kendall Johnson's going to settle underneath it and make the play for out number 3 as Espinoza retires the Bears in order here in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Bears 15-4. Well, our player of the game today, Wesley Jordan, the senior for Baylor out of Highland Village. Gus, he hit not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs. Equals a Baylor record today. 6 runs driven in for the Bears left fielder, and that one was the no-doubter.
Yeah, the other 2 balls that were smoked into the corner and just got over the wall. That one was a titanic blast out to way out beyond the left center field.
We hear anything about how far that one might have gone?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, all 3 of those deliveries Wesley Jordan had Zane Petty figured out today.
Ground ball off the bat of the Red Raiders, Logan Hughes, fielded by Kemp, and there's 1 away.
A little cap shot off speed pitch. Hit off the end of the bat there by Hughes and flared out to Kemp. Did a nice job of settling on that. Playing it for the easy out. And it's Peyton Schultz at the plate. He's making his first appearance. He's been on defense the last inning or 2 there at first base.
One out for the Red Raiders here in the bottom half of the 8th. Schultz taking over at first base for Robin Villeneuve. Villeneuve had 3 hits for the Red Raiders on Friday, but went 0 for 3 today. Gus, that the way baseball goes sometimes?
Yes, indeed.
3 hits to 3 outs. Well, that one's coming up. I heard that one thump on top of us.
It sure did, off of that red fabric roof over our heads.
Here's a 2-1.
Well, you don't see this very often, but out beyond the right field fence, a couple of Baylor pitchers are playing catch, and they're in the sideline.
they've got friends over there too.
Yeah, a couple other guys. But yeah, they're out there on the sidelines of the Texas Tech track. I wonder if Coach Kitley knows about this. Coach Kitley's not in town to worry with it.
Back in the day, you saw pitchers throwing a football around some,
Yeah,
but they're actually throwing a baseball around. When it turns into a frisbee, we know something's up. Ground ball off the bat of Schultz. That's Kemp. He's going to have to hurry. Does in time. He's retired the first 2 Red Raider batters here in the 8th inning. Gus, there are your Bears down there on the. So as soon as somebody jumps over one of the hurdles, goes over the water jump, we'll know something's up.
Yeah, some pitchers out there playing catch and get loose. You just don't see that very often. Again, talking about I've never seen a foul ball get in this booth. I've never seen somebody go out there and find a little green space and play catch. But
they've got 6 guys down there now throwing the ball around. Antonelli Savatieri bats with 2 out and no one on for the Red Raiders here in the 8th inning. He singled in his first at bat. He's grounded out and struck out in 2 trips since then.
There's a left-hander working with some pace in the Baylor bullpen. Caleb Bunch has certainly done his job. He's filling up that strike zone. Did give up the solo home run an inning ago to Tracer Lopez, but has retired the other 5 hitters he's faced.
Yeah, this is what the Bears relief pitching group could not do last night against the Red Raiders.
Yeah, giving up 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. That was a 2-1 ball game at the time with Baylor in the lead, and then another 4 runs behind that in the 8th to blow that game wide open. Some days you're the hammer and some days you're the nail, right?
Some days you eat the bear and some days the bear eats you.
Yes, sir. Hey, speaking of being the hammer and the nail, we're talking about some Red Raider major leaguers. Josh Young got healthy, got back in the lineup earlier this week, last night in Seattle. 2 for 4, 3 RBIs and a home run. Actually, I think he had all 3 RBIs in that loss.
Sabateri gives that one a ride into the gap in left center field, but running it down is Bergman. Bergman out there for Wesley Jordan makes a nice play defensively, and the Red Raiders have gone in order in this 8th inning. We're on to the 9th. Baylor up by 11 runs. Well, Gus talking siblings here in the top of the 9th inning. Let's see. Wesley Jordan's out of the game. He hit 3 home runs, equal to Baylor record. Baylor record holder has his sister playing softball here in town. Caleb Bergman's going to lead off here in the 9th inning for Baylor. His brother is on this Baylor Bear team as well.
Yeah, a young freshman pitcher. He's made 1 appearance, threw a scoreless inning in that appearance. His older brother here just made a really nice play to end the last half of an inning, tracking a ball down in deep left center field to finish off that inning. Good work by Caleb Bergman, and he'll get things started here in the 9th.
Playing behind a guy that clearly is an everyday player for you, Bergman. This only his 5th at-bat of the year. He's 1 for 4. Gus, guess what his only hit is?
I don't know.
Home run.
I'll be darned. That's a good way to do it.
Espinoza, the Red Raider reliever, 4th pitcher today, works out of that stretch even when no one is on base. A lot of relievers have taken up that approach. Wesley Jordan, by the way, 4 for 4 today before checking out of the ball game. 3 home runs, a single. He also walked. He was on base 5 times. Good for the on base percentage. Now Caleb Bergman with his first at bat of the day here in the 9th inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes against the Red Raider freshman Jordan Espinoza. Ball lifted right over the glove of Coleman Ryan, drops down in left center field, and Bergman's got his 2nd career hit, or 2nd hit this season, and another leadoff batter on for the Bears here, top of the 9th. Here's Tyreek Kemp, 2 for 4 today. 18 hits now for the Bears. Espinoza had retired the Bears in order in the 8th, but here Bergman single to start the 9th inning. The series is going to conclude On Sunday afternoon, Gus, neither team has announced a starting pitcher for that bowl game.
Yeah, 1 o'clock start here tomorrow. Should be another hot one. Temperatures forecast in the 90s.
Upper 90s.
Goodness. Hydration, sunscreen, all the things.
Bring your starting pitcher to the game tomorrow.
Yes.
Bring a good one. Bears bullpen still active on the Tech track area. Not much going on in the bullpen, but a lot over there at the track stadium. That's ball 4. Kemp is on. Espinosa's going to get himself in a bit of trouble here in the 9th inning if he's not careful. Now the Bears will send a pinch hitter to the plate for Hunter Simmons. This is Will Pendergrass. This in the DH's spot in their batting order. 2 on, nobody out, and that ball into orbit. Hit a mile high into the left field corner. It's going to be a foul ball. And if there were clouds today, that would have brought rain, Gus.
Yes, it would have. He hooked that thing and elevated it.
We saw some low-flying planes during a game the other day. That one might have clanked off the bottom of one of those things. That thing was way up there. Pendergrass batting for Hunter Simmons, who was 2 for 5 today, had a couple of hits in his first at-bats. A single and a double, then a ground out and a pair of strikeouts. Espinosa in that delivery, Gus, hides his glove and his ball very effectively from the hitters, the way he holds it to his side.
Yeah, there's some deception in this delivery. The stretch is closed off.
That ball ripped past Coleman Ryan into left field. Bears are going to hold up the runner at third base. Couple of hits here in this 9th inning and a walk. And Baylor has the bases loaded with nobody out. Pendergrass rips that one into left field, and now Bears are loaded up on the bases for Pearson Reebok. Reebok's got 2 hits today. He's 2 for 5.
Baylor 4 hits away from that record we talked about, John.
Ooh, they are closing in on that.
Yeah, it's been done 2 times over 40 years ago. 23 hits in a ball game, once in '83, once in '84.
Not sure anybody wants to see that record.
No.
At least not if they're wearing red and black. It has been a good day offensively for the Bears for sure. Not certain what their record is this season for runs in a ball game, but they've got some runs and hits today. Pendergrass was 0 for 6 against Red Raiders last season before that single a moment ago. It was only his second hit of the year. Now Reebok with the bases loaded and nobody out at 2-2. Oh, nice breaking ball, and it got him. Stood there and watched that breaker from Jordan Espinoza, and that's a called strike 3. That's his second strikeout. That's a nice one with the bases loaded. Gives you a chance on a ground ball, Gus, to get out of a mess here in the 9th.
And dealing with a tough customer, and Travis Sanders already 3 hits here today. Couple runs scored, couple RBIs. He had 2 hits here last night. Also walked once.
2 of his 5 hits are doubles.
Travis Sanders drafted out of high school as well. Second-year player. He was medical redshirt here 2 years ago, but he's draft eligible. Having a nice year, showcasing himself.
Been on base 6 times in the 2 games. 5 hits and a walk. He's been very good in his return. And a chance to widen the lead here for the Bears. He has been a tough out. Red Raider pitching has struck out 9 Baylor batters today, but they've also given up 19 hits and 15 runs. Two and 2 the count. There's 1 out and the bases are loaded here in the 9th. Little chopper down the third base line. It'll roll foul. Boehm will pick it up in foul territory, and everybody will go back.
I think Boehm had designs on stepping on third base there. That little chopper rolling down there. Didn't have enough on it to really try to do much more than that. Might have been able to step on third, play it over to first. Sanders runs well.
Baylor scored 19 runs a couple of times this season. So they're not there yet. Oh, that ball hit right back up the middle. It hit Espinoza on the mound. It rolls out into shallow left field. Couple of runs are going to score. At least 1 run will score. Baylor will hold up a runner there, but that line drive off the bat of Travis Sanders hit Espinoza after he delivered that pitch. Looks like it might have gotten him on his left arm. Red Raiders medical staff, head coach Tim Tadlock, and the home plate umpire all there on the mound.
Yeah, they're right. Espinoza out there.
Doesn't seem too bothered by it, to be perfectly honest.
He's out there pointing at his left arm, look like up in the bicep area. They're going to take him out. Nobody getting loose in the Red Raider bullpen, so whoever it is that gets the call is going to be able to take their warm-up tosses on the mound. It's another good swing by Travis Sanders.
Yeah, it'll be an infield single for the Bears second baseman. I mean, there are some pitchers there in the bullpen out in left field, but somebody's going to need a little bit of time to get ready. I mean, that ball ricocheted off of Espinoza and rolled all the way out into left field. Well, no one has come out of the bullpen yet. We believe Jacob Rogers will be the next pitcher, Gus, but he's got some time to warm up. So while the new Red Raider pitcher gets warmed up here in the top half of the ninth inning, we'll take a break. It's Baylor 16-4 over the Red Raiders here in the top of the ninth. Well, back here at Danlaw Field at Rip Griffin Park, Jacob Rogers has completed his warm-up throws out in the bullpen. Gus, he has departed there, headed towards the mound where I expect he'll throw a few more.
Yeah, he gets an unlimited amount of time here, but he's probably pretty close. Hey, we do have some other action around the Big 12. It's Arizona State and Cincinnati going at it. They're in Ohio. Cincinnati leads that series 1-0, but Arizona State leads at 7-4 in the ninth. Kansas and TCU have completed their ball game today. TCU wins it today 4-3. They now lead that series 2-0. They are now ahead of Kansas by a game in the Big 12 standings. TCU trying to sweep Kansas. They'll go at it again tomorrow at BYU and Utah playing the rubber game of their series. It is tied at 5 in the 6th inning. UCF leads Kansas State 1-0 in the 4th inning. UCF won the opener of that series last night. West Virginia and Houston will go at it later tonight. West Virginia won the opener there in Houston last night, and OSU and Arizona will play a late night ball game from High Corbett Field in Tucson, Arizona. OSU got the opener of that one.
Jacob Rogers there taking some additional warm-up throws. He gets all of the time he needs because of this. The line drive off the bat of Travis Sanders that hit Red Raider pitcher Jordan Espinoza. Glances off. It looks like it hits his left arm as he's turning away from it, and then ricochets on out past Coleman Ryan at short for the Red Raiders into left field. I mean, Espinoza walked off the field under his own power after some discussion there on the mound with the Red Raider medical staff and Tim Tadlock. But the decision obviously made to go to the bullpen and bring in a pitcher, and Gus, it's Jacob Rogers.
Yeah, he's making just his second appearance. Been injured for the first part of the season, made his season debut with 2/3 of an inning in Albuquerque on Tuesday. Obviously, this is his first Big 12 appearance this year.
You'll face Ty Johnson. Bases still loaded after that ball ricocheted off of Espinoza. The bases were loaded at the time. Johnson at the plate here with one out in the top half of the ninth. Baylor with a commanding 12-run lead, has the distinction of being the only Baylor player in the lineup that does not have a hit, and they've got 20 of them today. Rogers, a junior out of Friendswood. There's no place to put him. That ball looped out into shallow right field. Will drop in front of Damian Bravo. Couple of runs are going to score. Here's the throw by Bravo to Rivers at home plate. Not quite in time to get the second runner. That's Pendergrass. Couple of runs score on the single by Johnson. And the lead now 18-4 for Baylor. Tyreek Kemp and Pendergrass score. Now a pinch hitter here for Jack Little.
It is Gavin Brzezowski, third-year man out of Mansfield, Texas. Junior college transfer, getting a shot at it right here. Red Raider middle infield looking for the double play ball.
Brzezowski batting for Little here. Little has a home run and a double today. Brzezowski a couple of years ago hit 5 home runs for the Bears, but mostly in a limited role this season. Swing and a miss there. 95 from Rogers. That'll sit down Brzezowski, out number 2 here in the top of the 9th. For a guy coming off some arm troubles, Gus, 95 looks pretty good.
I mean, he's got a good arm. And I think he was slated for a fairly prominent role in this Red Raider pitching staff, but whatever injury he was dealing with obviously got him off to a late start, as he didn't make his debut until April. He's capable of starting, obviously relieving. The arm is good, the stuff is good. He's a third-year man. Red Raiders hoping that he can find a little rhythm and timing and get himself going here.
Cortland Castle is the 9-hole hitter in the Baylor lineup. Singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. He also drove in a run on a ground ball out in the 4th. 18 runs on 21 hits for the Bears. Zane Petty started this ball game, got roughed up by the Bears early. Will Jordan, Connor Mohan, Jordan Espinoza, now Jacob Rogers have all worked on the mound for the Red Raiders. Oh, and that one thrown right past Davis Rivers, bounces back to him in a hurry. But both runners move up 90 feet on that pitch. Sanders over to 3rd. Ty Johnson down to 2nd. Again, that pitch from Rogers outside, ball 4 to Castle. Bases are loaded again. Go back to the top of the order. Apodaca will bat again here in the 9th inning. It's his 7th at bat today. He did not go to the plate in the 5th or the 7th, but he has batted in every other inning today. Rolls it right back to Rogers on the mound. He'll underhand flip over to first base to Schultz, and that ends the Baylor 9th inning. But they come up with 3 more runs and lead 18-4 as we go to the bottom half of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th coming up for the Red Raiders. It'll be Davis Rivers, Garrett Boehm, and Kendall Johnson. Those are the guys due up. The Bears have 18 runs on 21 hits. The 18 runs are not the most they have scored this season. Twice this year they have scored 19 runs. 19-3 over Texas State and 19-2 in a Big 12 game, a victory over Kansas State. But 18 runs today against the Red Raiders in an effort to even this series at 1 win apiece. Texas Tech winning last night 9-2, 13 hits for the Red Raiders in that game, but 18 runs for the Bears today on those 21 hits. And it is quite a ways back for the Red Raiders, and it doesn't start with Davis Rivers, who strikes out to lead off here in the home half of the 9th inning. Here's Garrett Boehm, 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out 3 times. The first of those ground balls went 5-4-3 for a double play. Carson Bailey started for the Bears. Caleb Bunch in line to finish this game. And the question now, Gus, is who's starting for each of these teams tomorrow?
Yeah, that's both of these coaching staffs probably have somebody in mind. Not sure anything that happened today would really have altered that. You know, sometimes you leave that thing as TBA, knowing that a guy might be pitching in a high leverage relief spot today to secure a win. You're not exactly sure, but I doubt that anything that happened today really affected that decision making.
Bunch came into the ball game in the 7th inning. That's Reebok way over there behind third base. Although I'm not sure, is that Reebok still? Yep, it is. Playing way deep behind third base. That's like throwing the ball from the outfield, Gus, back to the infield. He's so far back there on the ground ball, but Boehm is out. And the Red Raiders down to their final out. Bunch has allowed only one Red Raider to reach base since coming on in the 7th inning, and that was Tracer Lopez, who hit a 2-out home run. This was all about starting pitching, and the Bears had it, and the Red Raiders did not today. As Baylor scored 6 runs in the first inning and have never looked back. Big shift on for Kendall Johnson. Everybody on the right side.
It probably gives you an idea that they're going to go after Kendall with some soft stuff or maybe a fastball in. They have packed that infield over there on the right side.
Kendall has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and grounded out to first. Red Raiders down to their final strike. It's 3-2 to Johnson. Coleman Ryan would be next if Johnson can reach. Hit it hard right at the first baseman. Second time he's done that. He's retired there, and Gus, this ball game is over.
And nice work by Bunch finishing up here. He faced 10 hitters, retired 9 of them, gave this Baylor club exactly what they wanted. He actually gets a 3-inning save for that. But yeah, this ball game really all but written. The story about this game all but written in the first inning with that 6-run first for Baylor.
Yeah, the Bears had 2 home runs in that inning, couple of doubles, and scored 6 runs, all off Red Raiders starters Zane Petty, and they have evened up this series at 1 win apiece. Bears now 22-12 overall. They are 6-8 in Big 12 play. Red Raiders drop to a 10-21, 6-8 in Big 12 play as well. As the Bears win today 18-4 with 21 hits, the Red Raiders had 6. So for former Red Raider Dr. Mike Gustafson, I'm John Harris saying so long from Dan Law Field here in Lubbock, where again the final score, Baylor 18-4. They'll do it again tomorrow at 1 right here. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long, everybody.